Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. It's Renee again. Hope you're all having a very blessed day, and we are continuing our journey through the Psalms. So today we are going to be working on Psalm 67, especially verse 1 and 2 that says, "May God be gracious to us and bless us. May he make his face shine upon us, so that your way may be known on earth, your salvation among all the nations." And as a side reference, I also am referring this psalm with Psalm 34:5, which states, let's find Psalm 34:5. Let's see. Okay, 34 verse 5 says, "Those who look to him are radiant with joy. Their faces will never be ashamed." So today's page is going to all be about like shining and being radiant and having his face shine upon us, as well as us reflecting his glory. So this page or this psalm really spoke to me about that. And then the funny thing is, or not the funny thing, of course it's a God ordained thing. I was looking at the psalm right above it, which is Psalm 66, and it's talking about the wonders of God, how his acts for humanity are awe-inspiring and all the things he did. But then it also in verse 10, so Psalm 66 verse 10 says, "For you, God, tested us. You refined us as silver is refined." And so it's talking all about how he refines us, and he how he removes the dross and he makes us shine, and he takes our yuck and makes it beautiful kind of. So all this whole page just kind of like, it just kept confirming to me it's how we are to radiate his glory and how he shines his face upon us, and we in turn are to radiate it out. So let's get journaling. So before I started, again, I did prep the page on this one. So again, for those who have not seen it, it's gesso. I use the Art Basics gesso, but you want clear, transparent gesso. It doesn't have to be this kind of gesso, this brand, but you want clear, transparent gesso, because that means you'll be able to see your words through the page. And all prepping does to your page is it protects your page, so that if you're going to use inks or really dark watercolors or inks or pens or things like that, it shouldn't seep through your page. I've had a few seep through every once in a while because sometimes I do get pretty heavy-handed. But today we will be using inks and stencils. So you want to get your inks and stencils out. So the inks I chose this time around, oh, my little bobber came off the back. Okay, so these are just called Hampton Art Dye inks. These I think I got from Michael's. They're just inks. You can get whatever inks you have. And it doesn't even really tell the color on them. So this one is this color. It's like a teal blue. This one's a pinkish color. And these are my little pads that I put at the bottom. And it's a great way to store them with Velcro on the bottom. And so if you have these little, where's my dauber pad? Let me see. If you have these, and it comes with a little pad on the end, you can just switch them out real quick. I'm not going to be using these today. I am going to be using one of these, which is just like a makeup brush. I got a set of these from Amazon, and I like these for flat surfaces. When you're doing stencils, I really like using these versus these, which are really good for inking up edges and doing things like that. So these I use for the edges, these I use for flat surfaces, but you can use whatever you have. You can use paper towel if you want, or whatever. I mean, really, you can get the ink on however way it'll work. And then I'm also using this one, and I don't even know what this ink is from. I've got so many different ink pads, but this is called Butter Bar. It might be a Stampin' Up! Ink or one of those. I mean, like I said, I buy bulks of stuff from people when they're selling out their craft, having a garage sale or whatever. I'll just buy whatever they have. And so I don't know, a lot of where this stuff comes from, but I'm sure you can buy any of these kind of inks at hobby stores. And let's see, I'm also going to be using a stencil, a flowered stencil. You could use whatever stencil you have just to make a design on the back of your page. The reason why I am using these three colors is because I got this picture from his palette. Oh my gosh, y'all. Kim over at his palette is such a doll. I love her. This was a freebie that they sent out. And I printed it on that the large sheets of clear transparent sticker sheets or sticker label sheets. I got a pack from Amazon for about, I think it was 25 sheets in a pack for, I don't know how much, not too expensive, but they are the more expensive ones because it's clear. If you get white sticker paper, it won't be clear. Like you won't be able to see through, you won't see the words through it. This would just be white over your words if you get what I'm saying. When I pull this off, you'll see. I use clear sticker paper a lot, but this is the clear. But anyways, I printed this out from his palette. This is a freebie, and I think it's a freebie if you sign up for their news. I don't remember where I got this through, but it was either through a newsletter. They'll send out a freebie every month or you know, every once in a while. So this was one of their freebies. So you can go and check it out, his palette. Tell Kim I said hi. She's such a doll. I love her. So the reason why I picked these colors is because I wanted to pick up this bluish color and this like orangish ochre yellowish color, and then I had to put a little contrasting in there, so that's why I picked those 3 colors. But you know, you can pick whatever colors you want for your stenciling. So all I'm going to do is get my covers off of these, and I am just going to start stenciling this up a little bit in different areas. I'm going to start, let's see, I'll start with the blue, and I just, you know, rub this over the ink pad. I'm going to start up in this corner, and I'm going to start light. I don't press hard. I start light because you can always get darker. So I go from light to dark. You know, if you press hard right away, you're going to get a dark spot, and then it's kind of hard to cover that up if it's too dark and you don't want it that dark, if that makes sense. You can always go darker if you start light. And, you know, you can always go back in and see, you can get it darker as you go. And then, okay, then all I do, I get like a damp paper cloth, or, you know, what is this, paper towels? Oh, losing all my vocabulary. Get a damp paper towel and just kind of clean it off a little bit. I'm not too picky about, you know, cleaning my brushes that great. I don't really mind if the colors kind of blend into each other a little bit. You can see it's probably not as bright purple or pink that I would have had, but I kind of like it when the colors kind of blend into each other a little bit. Let's see, let's make sure it doesn't move. Let's do some pink down here. Okay, so that's what we have so far. I'm gonna do some brighter pinks in a couple different areas. And this ink pad, I think, is running out. I need to get a re-inker and kind of, or get a new ink pad, one of the two. Oh yeah. Yeah, see, this is like more of a muted pink. It's not a bright pink. It's just a little muted, which is fine. And I'm getting these streaks on the paper. It's probably because of the gesso when I gessoed, but that's fine as well. Let's do real light right there. And let's do some down here. So I'm gonna get some more, I should have just done the blue all at once. You can do one color all at once and then go back and then do different colors so you're not have to keep cleaning your brush. This blue is a lot brighter. Whoop, throw that away. So yeah, I have my plastic piece of paper, or my plastic protector sheet underneath, because you can see I'm going over the paper. So to protect your Bible or your other sheets, you want to have a piece of paper or plastic protector or something under there to kind of protect. As you can see here, I went over, but this just, when I take my sheet, it just wipes right off because it's plastic. See that? This will all just wipe right off. So I like them. Okay, so let's continue this. Let's see. Oh, where else do we want some? Let's get some blue down here. Make sure my plastic sheet is there. here. So just kind of pick and choose where you want your stenciling to go. I just like I said, like doing layers throughout my paper. Okay, so there we go with that. So let's clean this off. I'm gonna go into the yellow just a little bit, pick up some of those yellow highlights, and I'm gonna wipe this off so the yellow doesn't mix with the ink already on the stencil. At least wipe it off, you know, get most of the color off. Okay, so let's cover this one, cover this one. Okay. I haven't used this one in a while, so let's see how it goes. Let's see. Ooh. It's nice and bright. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to cover my whole page up, but who knows? I might. I wasn't planning on it, but once I get going, I keep going, and then it's like, whoop, I covered. I'm going to do some over and see what happens, what it looks like too. That's kind of cool. Different layers. Let's see, where should we put a little bit more yellow? Yeah. Well, we're almost got the whole page covered. Let's just put some faded ones in there. We'll just fade it out in the middle real light. You can barely see that. Okay, that should be good. So let me move these and wipe this off so I don't have ink on anything. I usually make such a mess, y'all, when I'm crafting. We got to use that, and we might be using this again, so I'm just going to quickly wipe this off. I kind of craft on the fly, you know, something will hit me, I'll be like, oh, I could do that on the page or something as I'm crafting, and so we never know if we'll use this again. Okay, I'm making a mess here. Okay, so let's see. So we got our stencils. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with my dryer real quick. Just to make sure that this ink is dry before I do the next layer. Let me wipe this too, so I don't get ink on all my papers in between. Okay, so let me dry this with my dryer. Just to make sure. Okay, then what I want to do is go in with a gold stencil, or a stencil with gold paint. And what I'm going to be using is this metallic acrylic paint. You can use any kind of metallic paint. You can use any kind of, let's see, I have like those pearlescent watercolors, or if you have metallic watercolors. If you have a metallic pen, you can go in and do metallic highlights with a pen if you'd like. I just have this paint, so I figure I might as well use it. And I'm going to shake it up just to make sure, because I haven't used it in a little bit. And I'm going to put it in my little, just a little bit here. Just a little bit is all you need. And this is going to give a shimmer and a shine to your page. And I'm going to use, let's see, yeah, this stencil. And I'm going to go over what we already stenciled, not totally, just in spots. And I'm just going to probably use this part of the stencil, I'm thinking. Let's see. Or maybe that part of the stencil in one area. Maybe it's, ooh, I like that swirly. Maybe I'll do this part. I'll play with it and we'll see what happens. Okay, so this, what I use is just a little makeup brush or a makeup sponge that I just cut. It was a round makeup sponge that I cut in, into 4 pieces. And I use this to dab on this kind of stuff. You want just a little bit of the paint on the edge, and you want to make sure it doesn't kind of clump up in your stencil or underneath your stencil. You want to kind of rub it in and make sure it's spreading out, because otherwise you'll have like clumps of paint, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of making sure it gets throughout the whole stencil. And I'm not sure how is this going to show up. I might have to add more. We'll see how this looks over the stencils already there. Let me see. Yeah, see, if you clump it up, if you can see, I'm getting clumps of paint right there. So I'm going to go back in with the other end and kind of dab it up so I don't have clumps of paint. And then I'm going to go back in and do another layer, because it didn't look like it was going over the stencils as well as I thought it would. So I'm just going to do another layer. We'll see what happens. I'll make sure. Okay, and then you want to rub off, I'm going to get it everywhere, but you want to rub it off and make sure you don't have like little clumps of paint all over this. Okay, and this will dry, we'll dry it. Let's try this little, let's see if this turns out a little bit different. When this dries, it gets very shimmery, this metallic paint. So you're gonna get like a real gold shimmer on your page. If it works out, if it works the way it's supposed to work, it should. Now, if you put this paint just on plain paper and not over the stencils, it would really show up. I think because we have stencils on, the ink stencils, it's not showing as brightly, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's all good. And the thicker you put it on, you know, the more it'll cover the stencils and such. I'm just afraid to put it on too thick, because it might clump up, it might get really hard to dry. I don't know. We'll see, because this is all trial and error for me. We're testing it out together, y'all. Let's see what that one looks like. Ooh, that one's cool. I don't know if you can see that yet. See how that shimmers? And once it dries, it'll be really cool. And this one will be too, I think, once it dries. So let me wipe this off. And we'll do another one in probably one more area. I like doing things in threes a lot. I either do things in threes, or I go overboard like I did here and just did everything. Let me see, maybe if we put swirly like right here, kind of in the white part. Oops, got some paper towel on there. Let's see, what is this swirly, kind of go up like that? Do we want that there, or do we want, I'm always talking to myself, y'all, when I'm doing this. Actually, I think that would be cool coming out of the verse, how his face, okay, I'm gonna put it right here. And we'll see what that looks like, and I might do more than three. Might do more than three after this, we'll see. So I'm just using parts and pieces of the stencil, and that's another reason why I use this sponge, because it kind of gives you more control over where you are placing the paint. You can pick and choose where you want your paint to go. And then you can also pick and choose how thick you want it, which is helpful. Oh, I'm running out of paint. I might have to fill this with a little bit more. Just a little bit. We don't need too much more, I don't think. Ooh, that was a big clump. Oh, we'll just smear that around. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. That looks pretty cool too. Okay. Should we stop or should we add some more, y'all? Decisions. We can always add more at the end because we got some other little snazzy, like glittery stuff we're gonna add. So, okay. Look at my fingers already. Oh. Okay, so move this to the side so we don't mess up. Okay, now I have to dry this because otherwise it'll get everywhere. So you do have to dry your layers. So let's just dry this real quick. This paint usually dries pretty quickly. It'll dry faster if you don't have all these like clumps that I have. So if you just put the paint on lightly and thinly, you won't have all these big huge clumps, but it gives it dimension. You can see that. I don't know if you can see while I'm drying the different layers of the paint on there. I'll show you when I get close up. Good. Hopefully that'll be dry enough. Okay, so if you can see a close-up, see how shimmery it gets in the light? So you get that metallic shimmer, and you can see some of the areas have more paint than others, so you have some raised parts. It gives it a little bit of dimension. And here's that one, and there's that one. So that gives you an idea of like the look you can get. Now, another thing I was thinking of doing, let's see, is doing some splatters, some gold splatters. So to do that, you take a little bit of water. This is just regular plain water and a brush. This brush had, it's got firmer bristles on it, I guess you would say. I like the ones with firmer bristles if I'm gonna do like small little gold splatters. And then I'm gonna go into this gold and I'm gonna water it down so it's runny. Not too runny, but runny enough where it's gonna splatter on me. And so I load up my brush with this watered down paint, and I'm gonna go onto my page and use my fingers. See the little gold splatters coming out? I'll show you a close up if you can't see it. You can decide if you want like little baby splatters or bigger splatters. If you want bigger splatters, usually I'll take a brush with a little bit thinner bristles, load it up, and then go like this. It's working on with this too. You can get some bigger splatters if you do that. If you want smaller splatters or you want to control it a little more, the direction, I kind of just do it with my fingernail, and then you get like these little gold splatters. I think that's enough. I've just been splattering the whole time. And then you gotta wash off your hand, your fingers, because they'll get gold everywhere. Okay, so here you can see the bigger splatters was when I was like shaking the brush. These little splatters, these little ones, little dots, are when I was flicking it with my fingernail or my finger. You can see the little gold splatters. Now when they dry, they're gonna be really shimmery and shiny like that paint. So then we'll have like little shiny specks across the page. So let's dry this real quick. That's the only thing about this, you gotta dry in between each layer. Otherwise they'll get all smeared up and run into each other. But like I said, usually this paint dries pretty quickly. Just depends how big of a splatter you have. And I've told y'all before, my heating tool is plugged into my wall, which is over there. And the cord, I need to get an extension cord or something because this is as far as it travels. And my camera is set up over here. Usually I work over there, closer to the wall. But my camera is set up over here, so I got to bring this over on this side, and my cord does not stretch as far. So I got to kind of do this off camera. So there's a couple splatters that are still trying to dry, these big ones. That's what happens when you get these big splatters as well. They take a little bit longer to dry versus like the little splatters. Let's see what this is. I've got a piece of brush. There we go. Take that off. Okay, it looks like it's done. Okay, so let me show you close up if you can see. Maybe in the light, you can see the gold shimmering in the light a little bit. See all the little gold splatters? I don't know if you can see that. You can see it in real life. I'm not sure if you can kind of see it on camera, but you got this gold shimmery, there, you can see it right here. Right here, gold shimmering. Okay, but that's not it. We're gonna do another layer. So gotta add more layers. Let me move this water because I have a feeling I'm gonna do something bad with that. Okay, so then, okay, I have something called, it's called Mink. It's by Heidi Swap, but you can get any kind. What it is, it's reactive foil. You wanna get something that's called reactive foil. Now what this does is it works with a heating tool or a laminator, like a heating machine or a laminator, and you put it through. I don't have one of those. So instead, I jerry-rigged it or use it in a different way. I saw somebody do this before, and I was like, oh, that's genius, and now that's how I do it. So I'll pass it on to you all. So it comes in these really thin sheets. It's not tin foil, but it looks like tin foil. It's got, you know, like a matte side, I guess. It's a little shiny, but it's not the, you know, the non-colored side, and then the side. It comes in all different kinds of metallic colors. This one is called rose gold. There's gold, there's silver, there's bronze, there's a whole bunch of different kinds, but this really, really thin material. So what you want to do with this, I'm going to do an edge, and I'm going to do some streaks through this page with this. And I'm going to show you this effect. So what you're going to do, oh, this is I need to find a glue stick. I keep using up all my glue sticks. Hang on, y'all. I got to grab a new glue stick. Let me grab one. I'm going through glue like crazy. Got a new glue stick. So you're going to ink up the edges of your Bible with your glue stick. So you're going to just take your glue stick and kind of like just pretend you're inking up the sides with glue. And I'm just going to do one side at a time. Okay. Then you're going to take your foil. Make sure this is flat. You're going to take your foil and press it do it evenly. You just saw what happens. Press it against the edge of the glue. And then if you have like a card, just some kind of credit card or old card, you want to, or even, it doesn't have to be a card, it could be anything. You want to burnish it, which means like just press down hard on, not that hard, but just, you know, press down on the foil. And you're going to see it looks like that, like it's attached to your paper. And then you're going to slowly rip it off. And then look at the effect you get along the edge of your paper. Now, this is starting to glue to, this is why you want to have a piece of plastic or something that is, you know, glue resistant, I guess, that you can just wipe off for underneath. But can you see that really cool? Let me get a close up. See that cool effect you get? So now you're getting an edging, and it's kind of like glue or gold, what is that? Gold flakes. So if you have gold flakes, you can do this with, you know, gold embossing powder, whatever. I just had these, so I figured I'd use them and use what I have. So use whatever you have. You could take gold paint and gold, you know, like take your finger even and rub it along the edge. You can take gold washi tape and washi tape the edges. Whatever whatever you have, however you want to do it. So now I'm going to do this edge. And again, I'm kind of like, some parts I'm putting more glue, other parts I'm putting less glue, so it sticks more in other places. I just kind of ink up the side. Stick my foil down. Burnish it. You can rub it down with your hand, your finger, but you also want to kind of press it in. And then slowly. Oh, look at that. That is so cool, y'all. I love it. It's like magic. Kind of like magic. I like that. I get excited about the funniest things, y'all. And I'm going to do along this edge too. This and embossing powder just makes me happy when I'm like, heating up my embossing powder and it's changing into, whatever color it's supposed to change into, or, glossy or whatever. I get so excited. I'm like, wow, look at it go. It's just fun. And there we go. And if there's a part that you want more gold or whatever, just put some more glue, put your foil back down, or put some more paint down, or whatever you have, and just add more. And there you go. And then I'm just gonna wipe all this off because it's got glue everywhere and I don't want it to stick. I could always see, I love this. This is just a laminated piece of paper, both sides, plastic that I just took to get laminated. And this, I use this all the time, y'all. This is so great because it just wipes off clean. You can put it in the water and just wipe it off, rub everything off, it all comes off. So this protects, this is, so great because it protects all the pages in between. Okay, so there we go with that. And now what I want to do, and I haven't tried this before, let's see how it works. I'm just going to take my glue stick and I just want some like glue, just some stripes down the page. And, like it's going to be uneven and odd and what have you, because I just threw some glue down and I'm pressing this down, and there's pieces already missing off the glue, off the foil, but well, we got some like little strips going on. I have to add a little bit more glue. Let's add some more and see how this works. So you can do this on a lot of your pages. And just play with it. Have fun with it. See how it works. Oh, so cool. Look at those. Oh man, I love that. Do y'all see that? See like little stripes coming down? Oh my gosh, y'all. This is so fun. So fun. Let's just stick that there. And this paper lasts a long time. Like you can keep using the same sheet, as you can see I'm doing, over and over. I mean, you'll get like little pieces. It'll be, not, if you want a perfectly straight line, then you want a clean piece of this foil. But if you don't care and you just want little pieces here or there, oh, so cool. That's what you'll get. Okay, let me just make sure. I think up here needs a little bit more, and over here. So we'll do this real quick. And down here real quick, wherever I put the glue, I don't remember, it's somewhere over here. There we go. Okay, I think that's enough. we're really gluing, we're really blinging this page up, y'all. But it's all about him shining down on us and us radiating out, and I love that. So, okay, so can you all see the different like stripes? So we've got splatters and stripes and just faded things here or there. So there's our other layer. Okay, so now let's see. Now we gotta put the picture on. I mean, you could just leave the page like this. So if you want, y'all can, let me get in camera here. Y'all can just leave the page like this. But I really wanted to add her because it's all about him shining down on us, as well as our faces radiating his love. And it looks already like things are, like light is shining down on her face. That's why I really liked this picture. So, okay, y'all, me with stickers. Let me try this. Always, there's got to be an easier way off. Y'all know an easier way to get the stickers off? Please let me know. There we go. I just really need some better nails or there's got to be like a tool or something that I can use. Okay, now if you have a bigger sticker like this, now you can see this is a translucent, this is a clear transparency sticker paper. So you'll be able to see the words and the artwork and what have you through it. Maybe not totally clear, but you'll see it. When you're using a big sticker like this, sometimes if you don't put it down and if you just kind of stick it, once it's stuck, it's stuck. This sticker paper is hardcore. It'll stick. So you want to make sure you have it where you want it. And usually what I'll do is like do it in, like start at one edge and then kind of work my way up like that so I don't get any bubbles or what have you. Oh, wow. Okay, so since it's translucent, you can see that was probably not the best place to put that gold little thing in because it's like going right into her face. But, you know, now the sticker's down and it's there, but it's still pretty cool. I still like it. So here's her face. Radiating down, you can still see the gold streaks through. You can see our stenciling through. Now, if you didn't want to see that, if you wanted her face to be opaque and not have anything shine through, you would print her on just regular white paper or something and cut her out and then glue her on. But I like having that dimension of different things shining through. Okay, and then my last part is I had these gold little sticker letters and I was just gonna write the word shine. So let me grab my seat and sit down because it's not just about him shining his face on us, like I said, but it's about us shining our light. Like he'll shine on us. Oh my gosh, and these are really tiny stickers, y'all. So, but I really wanted to kind of keep it. Where should we put do we want to put it over here or right here? I'll just go up here. So it's really about him shining his face on us and then us radiating his love to others. And like Psalm 34 says, it's Psalm 34, verse 5, and it says that those who look to him are radiant with joy. And I think you can always tell when someone is a believer. You can see it in their face. You can see it in their attitude. You can see it in their joy and how it shines out of them. So I really just like the word shine. I like the simple word to reflect both him shining down on us and us shining out to others. And I'm trying to make my, this is an X-Acto knife that I use, y'all. And I always have problems making my letters straight. So most of the time I try not, oh my goodness, most of the time I try not to have straight words. And I don't even know if this is straight. I gotta like look at it. It probably won't be. Maybe, let's see. Oh, sorry, y'all. I just knocked the camera. A good tip, one I hardly ever use myself, is if you put a ruler straight across, or you put like a little line there, it'll help you, you know, keep your letters and everything straight. But if you just try to do it on the fly like I usually do, it never goes straight. But like I said before, it's not about perfection. It's about having fun in the Word and fun with your time with God and all that. So let's see, we almost got it. We almost got it, and hopefully it'll be kind of straight. If it's generally straight, it's okay. And this X-Acto knife kind of helps me because my fingers, I feel, are so big. It's hard to get these. Okay, there we go. So what do y'all think? What do y'all think? There's our finished page. It's just got shine. I think it's kind of straight. We shall see. But there's our finished page with our gold accents, our stenciling, and fun with foil. So if y'all don't have this, like I said, you don't have to have foil. You can use washi tape. You can use gold paint. You can use gold watercolor. Doesn't even have to be gold. It could be silver. It could be whatever you want. But this is how I did mine. So thank y'all for joining me. Hope you all had fun. Hope this gets your creative juices going and really The most important of all, I hope you have fun in God's Word and spending time with God and being creative. So thank you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.